Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these super cute pumpkins. They are so quick and easy to work up. Today we're going to be making the grey one. I will leave the stitch count for the other pumpkins, including this tall one, on my blog, which is linked down below, but you can make any size pumpkin you want by either adding or subtracting stitches from your starting chain. They are really quick and easy to work up, so let's get making. So to make your pumpkin, you are going to need some yarn. I've got some King Cole super chunky here, so the chunkier the better because it'll work up quicker. An 8mm crochet hook, a darning needle, some scissors, some stuffing for your pumpkin. I've obviously just put this here to demonstrate. You are going to need more than this. A cinnamon stick or a twig from your garden, and just a piece of twine or garden string. So to start our project, we are simply going to make our slip knot. And then we're going to chain 15 stitches. And once you have your 15 stitches, we are going to start with a half treble crochet. So that is a half double if you are in the US. And we're going to start from the second chain from the hook. So we never count this one on the hook. So we are just going to start into this chain space here. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. So we're going to do this all the way along our chain until we get to the very end, and you should have 14 stitches when you reach the end. So I'm just coming to my last chain space, and then we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. Now on this row, instead of working into this space here, so you can see the V's there on the top, this is normally the space we work into here. We're going to be working around this loop just here. So if you pull your work, you will see you've got your 2 V stitches and then this loop here. And what this does is this pushes these top stitches forward. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook. If you can see here, I've gone around. You're going to grab your yarn and pull it through, and this pushes these 2 stitches forward. Now to make this easier to show you, I made this swatch here, and I'm going to show you with the grey so you can see it with a different colour. So I've just done a few stitches here, and it just shows you how it pushes this forward. So you're going to yarn over, we're going to be working this here. So you turn, you pop your hook in around that stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through, and then pull through all three. So I shall show you again. So it's this stitch here, yarn over, push your stitch through, pull up your yarn and pull it through, and again on this side. So it's this stitch here, yarn over. Let me turn so it might be a bit easier for you to see. Insert your hook, pull up your yarn and pull it through, and as you can see it pushes these stitches forward, and that's what gives it its kind of chunkier look. So going back to the grey colour, we're just going to do that all the way until we get to the end, and we have 15 stitches. So working around this post, not in these holes here, but round this stitch. Like so, all the way until you get to the end. So if you want to pause the video and meet me when you get to the end. Just double check your stitches, because sometimes you think that you don't have a space for a stitch, but on your very last one we're going to be going round here. This one can be a little bit fiddly. The first round is the worst round. And once you've done your 14 stitches, just double check and chain one and turn your work. So what we're going to do now, if you can see, this here when it's on the side will look like the stitch, but it's not. It's because it's pushed these stitches forward. So this here is the actual V, but we are going to be working into this part, what looks like the stitch, but actually it isn't, because the stitch is on the top. So we're just going to be working our half trebles or half doubles into those little loops there. It might help if I did the right stitch. And that is what we are going to be doing all the way along. So carry on working those stitches, so not into these ones on the top, but into these little side ones here, and I shall meet you when you get to the end. So once you have got to the end and completed that row, we're going to chain one and we're going to turn. And as you can see now, it's starting to take that kind of ribbed shape. So what we're going to do is we are going to repeat those two rows again. So this row will be working into this space, and then on the reverse we'll be working into the space that we've just worked. So you'll want to keep repeating those rows until you have a total of 19 rows. So if you want to pause the video, and I'll meet you when you've done your 19 rows. So once you have completed all 19 of your rows, you should have ended on a right side, as in completed one row on the right side. We're going to turn our work over to the wrong side and then just double it over. And what we're going to do just to join it is we're just going to slip stitch across. So I'm just going to move my yarn just over to here, because I think it's easier to start on this side. So just slip stitch across, and then we can start slip stitching properly. So just insert your hook into each space, grab your yarn, pull it through and pull it through, and then just move on to the next stitch, and same again. And we're just going to go all the way across with our slip stitches. Just make sure that everything's lining up properly and you have got all your stitches aligned so it's even when you reach the other side. So if you want to pause the video, carry on with your slip stitching, don't fasten your yarn off just yet, I will meet you at the end. So once you've reached the end, we're just going to chain one. And the reason why we did 19 was because those stitches, that odd number, it's just made it look a bit more even with the slip stitches. So now you want to fasten off, but you want to leave quite a long tail because we're going to use that to stitch. So I've left a super duper long tail. Let's give that a pull. And now what we're going to do, now we have this tube, is we're going to join this end together, this bottom end, and then we're going to stuff in here. So let me just grab my darning needle and see if I can thread this first time. Oh my word. So we're just going to almost do, let's tuck that in end inside, saves us a job. If you've ever made drawstring bags as a kid, that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to insert our needle and then just again here. We're just going to do that all the way round and then we can give it a pull and it should all join together. So once you've gone all the way round, we are going to give that a pull, just kind of tuck those bits in. And then we don't want to fasten it off just quite yet because we are going to use this again in a second. So once you've pulled it really tight, you just want to make a few stitches just to secure everything. All in together. Like so. We're just going to secure this off a little bit, but we are still going to use it, so do not cut it off. So once you have that all secured, if you see any little gaps that you don't feel comfortable with, you can always just stitch across and just pull it in like so. So now we have that all sewn in on the bottom. Just remove your needle because we're going to use that again in a second. And then we are going to grab our stuffing. I have just used, I've got this IKEA cushion that I bought just for the stuffing, but you can buy bags of stuffing, but I don't use it that often. So just take a good handful of your stuffing. I think that was a lucky first go then. And we're going to snip off some more yarn, and we're going to do exactly the same of what we did for the bottom. But this time, because our yarn isn't attached anywhere, I'm just going to tie a little knot there. Give that a pull. What I'm going to do is I am going to grab my cinnamon stick just so I know when to stop pulling. So that is about right, and now I'm just going to fasten this off. And the good thing about these pumpkins is that you can save them for each year, because you can just swap out the cinnamon stick because it's not actually sewn in to the yarn. Oh, it smells lovely. So we're just going to finish that off. I can take that out now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop my needle in here and pull it through, and then we can snip it off and just poke that tail end. And there we have the main body of our pumpkin. Now we are going to make some magic happen. We are going to use this tail to make us look even more pumpkin-like. So grab your darning needle with this long tail. And what we're going to do is we're going to poke it through the bottom. And just have a little feel with your finger. Nope, that's not the right place. There we go, pop it through the middle. And we are going to pop it in between these ridges here. And again, through the middle of the bottom. Up through the middle of the top. Ugh, like so. And just pull that nice and tight, and then down the opposite side. we are going to go down this side. Then I think we'll do one over here this side. And then I'm just going to do one more down here, but this one I'm not going to put through. I'm just going to fasten this off. Just make sure you pull it nice and tight. Just weave your ends in. I'm always paranoid they're going to come undone. And there we have our pumpkin. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our piece of twine, just pop a little bow around the cinnamon stick. Pop it in. We're just going to pop our cinnamon stick in the middle. And there we are, good to go. I love it. They come out so cute and they smell absolutely beautiful as well because of the cinnamon stick. If you don't have cinnamon, just use a twig from your garden. And there you have your very own pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.